Hey friends, how's it going? The movie opens with a girl named Melanie crawling out of a grave. A mysterious figure with a pickaxe appears. Desperate, she begs for mercy, but he mercilessly kills her. Cut to the present day. 5 friends are driving down a lonely road. One of them is Melanie's sister, Clover. They're all headed to the place where Melanie vanished. At a small store, Clover plays Melanie's last video, where Melanie shares her grief over their mother's death and her need to get away from home to heal. Megan, who possesses some psychic abilities, suggests everyone hold hands to tap into the energy around them. Just as they're about to connect with Mel's last moments, a truck's horn blares, breaking the silence. Clover steps into the store alone. Max wants to follow her, but Nina urges him to give her space, hinting at the complicated history between Clover and Max. At the counter, Clover shows the cashier a picture of her sister. He tells her she's not the first to come searching. People who venture into Glore Valley never return. It's a place shrouded in mystery and danger. Outside, Nina's boyfriend Abe questions the real purpose of their journey. He realizes Clover's true intent is to find Mel. Abe warns that these things usually lead to trouble. Moments later, Clover returns, determined. She claims she knows where Mel disappeared. The group drives deeper into the woods, the storm growing stronger. They argue about turning back, but Abe insists they press on. Suddenly, the storm clears, revealing a yard and a dark cloud hanging over a house. It's eerily quiet. The group explores the place. Clover stays back, watching the unsettling boundary between storm and calm. Max waits with her. Meanwhile, Abe, Nina, and Megan search the house. Inside, they find relics from the 90s, a sand timer, a guest book. Nina flips through it and gasps. Mel's name is there. Her handwriting looks normal at first, but the last few lines dissolve into frantic scribbles. Something bad happened here. Abe films everything with his phone. In another room, he discovers a poster filled with missing persons, Mel's photo among them. Outside, Clover spots a figure that looks exactly like Mel. She rushes into the storm to find her. As night falls, Max catches up and pulls Clover back. Reunited, the group debates what's happening. Nina notices the sand timer has flipped over by itself and begun to count. Suddenly, a loud banging echoes outside. They check and find their car isn't where they left it. It's been moved to the stormy side of the compound. Panicked, they run back inside. With no phone signal, Clover suggests finding another way to call for help. Nina and Abe keep watch by the window, monitoring the figure outside. Max, Clover, and Megan search the basement. With the building's lights flickering, Megan uses her phone as a flashlight. Clover finds a landline, but it's dead. Megan discovers an old radio that only spews static and screeches. Upstairs, Nina and Abe hear a loud crash. Abe goes to investigate, but he doesn't return. Minutes later, Nina can't wait any longer. She steps inside the dark room and flips the light switch, only to find Abe's mutilated body, sliced in half. Her screams send a chill through the group. Max races to the scene, only to see the killer, and Nina's lifeless body. He runs back, warning the others to hide. As they crouch in fear, the killer passes right by them. Max seizes his chance. He grabs a chair and swings it, but it shatters harmlessly. He tries to use a broken leg as a weapon, but the killer grabs it and drives it through Max's eye. As Max falls lifeless, the masked figure drags Megan from her hiding spot in the closet and brutally smashes her face against the floor, over and over. Clover emerges from hiding and stabs the figure with a knife, but it's no use. The killer doesn't even flinch. Terrified, she bolts out of the building and races into the woods. There, she's confronted by a figure that looks exactly like her sister. Distracted, she's caught off guard as the real killer impales her from behind. She collapses, dead. Meanwhile, the sand timer resets. Everything rewinds, dragging the group back to the moment that triggered this horrifying chain of events. They return with the same injuries and scars, forced to relive their deaths over and over. On the wall, the missing persons poster now includes fresh photos, Mel, Clover, and the rest of them. Megan's psychic senses tingle. She can feel the dark energy growing stronger. Abe suggests they should try to escape, but Nina disagrees. She warns that the killer might be outside and reminds them they were all murdered just minutes ago. Her name appeared twice in that creepy guest book, just like Mel's, meaning this night is a loop, repeating itself. Suddenly, the lights flicker, and a door slams shut. No one is there, but it keeps creaking open and slamming by itself. Abe holds the door shut while Max wedges it closed with a piece of furniture. Then, Mel's voice calls out from outside, crying for help. Clover's heart sinks. She wants to save her sister, but the group warns it could be a trap. Ignoring their pleas, she rushes out, only to find nothing but a mysterious building staring back at her. A force suddenly drags Clover toward the other house, while the others are shoved back into the building they came from. Max wants to chase after Clover, but Abe stops him. "Use your head," he snaps. "You'll die like her." Abe even questions if Max just wants Clover back for himself, which sparks a tense argument between Max and Nina. Inside the strange house, Clover wakes up surrounded by eerie masks. In the corner, an old woman breathes through an oxygen tank, listening to a news report about a local disaster. Clover tries the door, but it's locked. The old woman approaches, and Clover pleads to be let out. The woman tells her there's only one way: survive the night or become a part of it. She then grabs Clover's face, suffocating her with the mask, transferring her essence while the old woman slowly crumbles to dust. Back at the car, Abe and Nina try to leave, only to be blocked by a monstrous figure. Desperate, Abe slams the car into reverse, but the doors lock themselves, trapping them inside. The masked figure appears in front of them, and both are murdered. Max finally reaches the building, where he finds a room filled with old toys. A chair swings by itself, but it's just the wind. He turns around, only to be slashed by Clover, now wearing a mask. She staggers outside, only to be struck by Abe's Jeep, driven by the killer. The cycle resets once again. They all find themselves at the same, horrifying moment that started it all. This time, though, they notice a water tank that wasn't there before. Realizing their mistakes, they barricade themselves in a bathroom. Abe, parched, drinks water from the tap and offers it to the others. They all drink. Clover shares what the old woman told her. They have to survive the night to break free. Max suggests maybe all they need to do is not die until dawn, but if they fail, they'll be trapped here forever as part of the night's horrors. Suddenly, Abe begins to cough violently. He tries to hide it, but blood spews from his mouth and splashes onto Nina. She tries to wash it off, but Megan stops her, realizing the water is contaminated. In that instant, Nina also explodes. Panic spreads. Megan is next. She too bursts apart. Clover begs Max to kill her before it's too late, hoping they can come back and try again. But Max can't do it. He explodes right in front of her. A man steps into the room. It's the cashier from the store. He coldly tells Clover she almost made it, but she can't survive by sitting still. Her head explodes instantly. The timer restarts. Everyone is back at the beginning again, trapped in an endless cycle. Megan feels something strange. She's growing an extra tooth. Clover points out that waiting for the timer won't work. They need a plan. They start searching the house for clues. Clover finds old IDs belonging to the store owner, Dr. Hill, who once worked as the town's psychiatrist. Abe finds a newspaper article about a mining disaster that struck Glore Valley 20 years ago. According to the report, the miners dug too deep, killing over 1,000 people. Dr. Hill was brought in to help survivors deal with the trauma. That's when they realize this town was buried alive during that disaster. Nina spots a door and thinks it might be a way out, but when she opens it, she sees a terrifying path and quickly decides they should look for another exit. Megan remarks that whoever is behind all this wants to keep them terrified. Max then discovers a VHS tape, and when he plays it, they see a man trapped in a lab, begging to be let out. The doctor overseeing the experiment explains that the patient is showing signs of starvation, muscle atrophy, and, most importantly, intense fear and anxiety, feelings of hopelessness and utter despair. He adds that the trauma from the mining disaster still lingers, affecting both survivors and newcomers alike. The longer they're trapped, the more desperate they become, eventually transforming into monsters known as Wendigos. Suddenly, the radio crackles to life, and Hill's voice comes through. He tells them that there's a way out, but there's a price. One of them has to die for the rest to escape Glore Valley. Clover refuses to sacrifice anyone, determined to find another way. She finds a map of the town and points out the location where she believes the doctor is hiding. Clover demands to see him face to face. Hill agrees, but only if she comes alone. Abe thinks it's a good idea. They have just 4 nights left. No one in the registry has survived past 13 signatures. They need to try. Clover reluctantly agrees to meet Hill, who reveals he's in the woods with her sister. The others try to stop her, but Abe steps aside, reminding them they can't keep dying forever. He also points out that Clover has tried taking her own life twice this year. But Nina snaps. She impales Abe with a pickaxe, furious that he's encouraging Clover to chase her sister. She orders Megan and Max to go after Clover while she stays with her boyfriend's lifeless body. Meanwhile, Clover wanders into the woods, only to be caught in a trap. As she struggles, she's pulled into a dark shadow. Megan and Max follow her trail with a flashlight, determined to find her. Suddenly, some goo falls onto Megan's shirt. They look up and are horrified to see a Wendigo above them. They sprint toward the house, but Megan trips and falls through glass that reveals an old buried building beneath. Each movement cracks the glass further. Max grabs her hand, trying to pull her up, but the Wendigo pounces. Both Megan and the creature plunge into the underground building. The monster drags Megan's body into the darkness. Meanwhile, a Wendigo appears in front of Nina and Abe. Without mercy, it slashes them both to death. Max keeps searching and finds Clover alive but still trapped. Out of the shadows, Mel, now a terrifying Wendigo, emerges. Before it can attack, Max quickly grabs a mousetrap and slams it onto Mel's face. It buys them just enough time to run deeper into the woods. Clover begs Max to end it this time, promising they'll come back and fix things better next time. Max hesitates, then slashes her. Now alone, Max drinks a few water droplets and explodes in front of Mel. Clover wakes up again. Another cycle begins. Abe feels something strange on his back. When he shows the others, they're horrified to see he's mutating. Desperate to calm him, they tell him he's fine. Clover asks how long they've been stuck there. Max guesses maybe 4 nights, but Nina corrects him. It's been 13 nights. She urges Clover to check the registry book, explaining that no one has ever made it past 13 nights. They have to survive this one if they want to escape the town alive. When Clover looks out the window, she sees an eerie row of gloomy houses that weren't there before. She realizes they can't remember what happened last time, or the time before that. Megan is missing, and no one remembers anything except Abe. He's been recording everything on his phone. He shows them some videos, and in one, a claw is seen wriggling on Clover's face. When she turns around, her face is turned into that of a monster. Other clips show them dying over and over. The final recording is of Megan, who decided to follow Dr. Hill, hoping to see what he's hiding, maybe even find a way out. A siren wails outside, and through the window, they see Wendigos approaching the building. The group grabs whatever weapons they can find and decides to search for Megan. That means going through the doorway they'd been too scared to enter before. It turns out the walkway is a tunnel leading to the sunken village mentioned earlier. They make it into one of the buildings, only to find a Wendigo rummaging through some remains. To avoid detection, the group stays perfectly still, but one of the creatures spots them. Clover quickly traps its leg with a pickaxe, giving them a chance to run. Inside a nearby room, the masked figure suddenly crashes through the roof, and the creature lunges at Clover. Max shouts at her to go find Megan while he distracts it. Max and the others attack the creature together, finally taking it down with a hammer to the skull. Meanwhile, Clover is attacked by Melanie. But this time, Clover's ready. She shoves Mel onto an iron bar on the floor, killing her instantly. Clover finds Megan trapped in a lab, with a chained Wendigo snarling across from her. Clover runs to the next room to find the key, only for Dr. Hill to slam the door shut behind her. Reading her file on the table, Dr. Hill reveals that she's been an intriguing patient, suffering from severe depression, extreme anxiety, and 2 failed suicide attempts. He explains that every monster she's seen in this valley is a reflection of her own fears. As he backs Clover into a corner, she spots a leaking water pipe and carefully places his coffee mug beneath it. She puts it back on his desk for him to drink. Meanwhile, Abe, Nina, and Max are being chased by a horde of Wendigos, and Megan is terrified as the creature across from her starts to break free. Seconds after Dr. Hill drinks his coffee, he starts to feel sick. Realizing what's happened, he lunges at Clover, but she shoves him away and he explodes. Clover grabs the key and races to rescue Megan just before the Wendigo breaks loose. They escape together, slamming the door behind them, but it's not over yet. Other creatures are now chasing them. With time almost gone, they see an opening and make a run for it. Max and the others find them just in time and pull them out of the hole. This time, though, the timer doesn't restart. The sky clears, and the endless storm finally stops. Abe, already in his car, shouts for everyone to get in so they can leave this nightmare behind. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please like and subscribe to the channel.